Welcome viewers once again in our Learning for Knowledge YouTube channel. Now today we will go further ahead and describe the ultrafiltration issues and troubleshooting which were faced during the operation. As you know that in our previous videos we described the ultrafiltration basics and then different modes of operation. Now we will describe in this video the troubleshooting and issues and problems arises during the ultrafiltration process. Now, as we described in our earlier videos, and you know that ultrafiltration is a pressure driven process, that is, we applied the pressure across the membrane and then separation of the solute molecule or impurities or contaminants took place around the membrane or across the membrane. So ultrafiltration, which is a pressure driven membrane based separation technology, this is normally utilized in drinking water and wastewater reuse application and also in some of the biological processes. Now membrane basically is a semi-permeable, that it allows some particle and did not allow some other particle. So semi-permeable membrane can remove suspended solids, silt and viruses. Now membrane filtration technologies will have problems, and without proper care for appropriate pre-treatment, operation and maintenance. So we have to overcome or reduce or minimize these issues so we can operate these membranes smoothly and for longer period of time. So if you are considering or using UF ultrafiltration technology in the filtration processes, before you are going to apply that, you might be questioning what are the most common problems with UF and what are some possible solutions. We will describe this in stepwise, the main issues and their solutions regarding ultrafiltration separation processes. The first is membrane fouling, very common and very famous. What is basically the problem? Now during UF filtration, like other membrane processes, this is also susceptible to fouling. When unchecked deposit materials collect along the membrane surfaces, reducing its efficiency, pressure drop, and which ultimately increase the energy usage. This is one of the most common problem we can see in the ultrafiltration or any membrane process. Whether the materials fouling the membrane or in nature will generally determine what type of solution is the best. So what this means, that what are the particle or what type of fouling is occurring on the surface of membrane, then after knowing that, we can determine what will be the best solution to remove or reduce that fouling material. So there are a variety of factors other than organic, biological, colloidal or scaling material that can contribute to how much membrane will foul. So other than materials, if we have some materials available in the water stream, then there are some other operational parameters which can also contribute in the fouling or increasing the fouling, which are these factors basically are the pressure and speed at which the liquid is forced through the membrane. So when we applied high pressure, more liquid will be forced to move across the membrane, and this will lead to more impurities deposit on the membrane surface. So other than material, pressure and speed of the liquid, or you can say the filtration speed, is also plays important role in the membrane fouling. What is the reason behind this? When biological, organic or any other type of fouling occurs in the membrane, what happens? It is mostly due to an overabundance of that type of material, that is biological, organic, viruses, etc., present in the source water along with the improper pre-treatment. So if there are some unwanted material are coming in the water and they are abundant in that source, So beside that, we need some proper treatment, and if we are not doing that proper treatment and we have some improper pre-treatment, this will lead to fouling. Over time or with the passage of time, they can form a film that will prevent water from passing through the membrane and result in an increase in the transmembrane pressure differential, which is known as TMP. This increased pressure differential will put more strain on the pumps which are feeding the water and increase the amount of energy they draw. So due to fouling, more energy is required to get a filtered water. So what are the possible solutions? Some generalized possible solutions include chemical cleaning. So we will clean the membrane with some suitable chemical like caustic, acid treatment or anti-scalant or dispersant depending upon the type of fouling. And very important, ensuring proper treatment. So via sedimentation or prior filtration methods such as sand or activated carbon or self-cleaning filter. If we apply some of these or one of these pre-treatment scheme or equipment applied like self-cleaning filter, then it will reduce the particle which will block or foul the membrane. These techniques like sand filter, activated carbon or self-cleaning filter will reduce the load or remove some of the impurities, which ultimately, if not removed, now based or go into the membrane surface and settle there. Then some mechanical actions such as backwashing, air score and vibration to loosen and flush out foulants. These are also the step of operation. During operation we will backwash, we will clean with air and vibration to loosen and flush out the foulant which are deposited on the membrane. Then scheduled cleaning. Routines should be developed during operation. This was explained in the previous video which deal with the operation and backwashing and flushing of the membrane. So we should fix the routine for cleaning, backwashing or air cleaning or chemical cleaning. So a robust system will include quick backwash during the day with chemical assist. This may include air cleaning and chloride or acid addition like hypochlorite which provide chlorine or some of the acid, but all these depends upon the type of fouling or you can say the impurities present in the feed water. So however, in some cases where the fouling is irreversible, membranes will need to be replaced. So it is very important that we should try to minimize the fouling. It cannot be avoided, but it can be reduced. So the cleaning solutions and methods that might be useful in preventing and fixing fouled membrane will vary. It depends basically upon the type and condition of filtration, as I already told you. There is an example which I took from a Water Research Foundation. A desalination plant's membrane filtration system was being consistently fouled with some algal blooms. So they tried different solutions and ultimately they found that fouling was greatly reduced when hydrodynamic shear was limited, thereby minimizing the algal breakup. So when they apply hydrodynamic shear or force, that will reduce or break the algal size, it increases the fouling. However, when they reduce this shear and minimize algal break, they found that this will reduce the fouling. Low shear pumps were included in the system designed to be run at lower speed during algal bloom when there is a more algae comes from the water. This is normally a season comes in the sea when there is a more algal bloom or peaks occurred. So they also found that clay was helpful for removing algae in the flocculation phase. So these are basically, you can say, the studies, and this example shows that we have to be very careful by whenever we want to control the fouling and we want some solutions. There is another important problem is waste stream disposal. What is the problem basically? This problem relates with the UF filter concentrate discharge, that is reject. Roughly 5 to 15% of the stream's volume is going to need treatment as a secondary concentrated waste, and it is likely this secondary waste will need to be treated for reuse or disposal. Basically this uh, is a reject or concentrated waste of ultrafiltration. This is the secondary waste and need some treatment for reuse or some proper disposal. What are the possible solutions? So there is usually little to no chemical, because there is no chemical treatment involved in this process in case of US. This reject water is a concentrated form of water, whatever was in the feed water. So whatever the things present in the feed water, they are now concentrated. Sometimes this waste can be discharged back into the source water, that is, it will put it back into the source or injected into deep wells. Some are diluted and used for irrigation. If we want to use this or reuse this, we dilute it with some better quality of water and use in irrigation or agriculture if it will become most appropriate. The waste generated by the cleaning process will need to be treated. So during cleaning process, like when we are using some chemical or some other agents, then we need the treatment of this water before discharge of this water. And the third problem is higher than normal permeate contamination. Now when particles are getting through UF, they should be separated out. Basically this decrease in removal efficiency is usually indicative of compromised membrane. So basically, like in RO, when the membrane is not working properly or it is damaged, then particles pass from this membrane. So similar type of case here in UF, that when particles are passing through UF membrane and did not separate out, and this decrease the removal efficiency, is clear indication that there is some problem in the membrane. The occurrence of this is rare for systems that are well maintained, that is when we keep clean and properly used and no extra or dangerous chemicals are used, then this problem occur rarely, and if we monitor the membrane filtration systems. What are the reason, or what is the reason behind this? Basically the membrane is polymeric material and can get worn out over time. With the passage of time, its aging is going on. So high temperature or pH levels, different pH level or variation in pH levels can degrade them, and without a proper pre-treatment regime, rough particle, big particle, or the particle which can easily damage the inner pores of the membrane are basically the main causes. So membranes do not work very well if they are full of additional holes. If holes become increased or membrane tore out, then the separation process is basically affected, and the particles which required to be stopped at the surface of membrane, now they are passing from the membrane, and now the system is not meeting its designed specifications. So what is the solution? Now basically the integrity testing is often used to test the effectiveness of UV. We have to test the membrane integrity, whether the membrane is quite good or it is now undergoes some of the problem and its pore are increased or it's worn out, and it is essential to ensuring consistent and reliable filtration separation. So basically there are two tests normally conducted and recommended by the manufacturer. One is bubble test and second is pressure decay. In bubble test, the drain in this test, the UF module and pressurize it with a compressed air. The drain of the UF is, you can say that drain and the UF module are pressurized with a compressed air. As air pressure increases if large and continuous bubble appear on the surface of the membrane. It is an indication that there are tears in the fibers, and that's why it is not working properly. So basically you can say in the bubble test we are just pressurizing the membrane and checking from where the due to air pressure bubbles are coming out. Very simple. In second type of test, which is pressure decay, where pressurized air is pumped into the module and held for about 10 minutes. If a higher pressure drop occurs, then this is an indication that there are some issues with the fibers or there are tears in the fiber. So these two type of tests are applied to check the integrity of the membranes.